Bonjour à tous, ici Sprullex et bienvenue dans ce deuxième épisode de Let's Play sur The Forgotten City. Alors, on continue.
Oh, don't mind me. I just live here. Oh, I wish Horatius would stop letting barbarians in here. What do you want?
Ouf, elle louche un peu, hein, j'ai l'impression. Quelle est votre histoire?
I'm Sentia, eldest daughter of the magistrate. But you'd know that if you'd been invited in here and introduced properly. What are you doing in here? And why are you dressed like that?
Charmant. Que pensez-vous de
You
la
know,
règle
some
d'or?
people say it's the creation of an all-seeing God who's watching everything we do. But what kind of an awful, incompetent God would let my sister go missing on his or her watch?
Bonne question.
Did you hear that? Curse you, you coward! Where is my sister? What do you have to say for yourself? No response. Nothing. That's what I thought.
Alors, eh bien, au moins nous savons que le blasphème n'en fera pas la règle d'or.
I'm telling you, this mysterious god of ours has to be asleep on the job. Either that, or, like people are saying, it really is just a children's fable my father is exploiting to frighten us into behaving.
J'imagine que nous le découvrirons tôt ou tard.
I suppose we will.
Je m'en vais.
I trust you can see yourself out.
Bon. Eh bien, on va aller voir le magistrat parce que là... Magistrat sans plus.
We're finally alone. I assume you already know who I am. May I know your name?
Je m'appelle
A
Sprullex.
curious name to match a curious accent. But I digress. I see you have the piercing and astute eyes of a man of great learning. We're always happy to welcome another scholar to our little community. Equitia will be delighted to meet you, I'm sure. Now, you're probably wondering why I summoned you, and I'll get to that. But first, take a look at this wondrous place, would you? A secret city built deep in the mountains, many hundreds of years ago.
C'est magnifique.
Indeed. More importantly, consider the miraculous community we've built here over the last 7 months. 22 complete strangers brought together by the fates, living and working together in our own little paradise. And in all that time, not a single sin has been committed. No fights, no theft, nothing. Have you ever witnessed something so extraordinary as a city without sin?
J'avoue que non.
Nor could I until I came here. But the reason for this miracle is as simple as it is terrifying. If even one person commits a sin here, every last one of us will die. You see, the builders of this place, whoever they were, left inscriptions warning, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." From what we can gather, breaking the law here will anger the gods and provoke a terrible punishment. Like the curses of Medusa and Midas combined, turning us all to gold. We've come to call it the Golden Rule. It's extraordinary that we've survived as long as we have, and each day I grow more and more afraid that our time in the sun is almost up. And now it seems that day is finally here. All that matters is that somebody in this city is about to break the Golden Rule. Why else would Proserpina send you now? Unless you and I can stop them, our doom is assured. I know that's a lot to take in, and you look like you have questions. Please, ask away.
Ok, alors. Qu'est-ce qui est considéré comme un péché ici?
An intelligent question. There was a good deal of debate about that in our first weeks here. Does it refer to crimes or to some other ill-defined wrong? Of course, everyone agrees on the basics. No theft, no assault, and certainly no murder. But beyond that, it was more difficult to reach a consensus. What about lying, insulting someone, blasphemy, trespass, trying to escape, bribery, infidelity, suicide? As magistrate, I had to exercise leadership, and so I made a decision. We must uphold the laws of the Empire to a standard never before seen. And we must honor the peace of the gods, the sacred accord between the gods and the people of Rome. It is only by offering the gods the proper respect that we may prosper, as Rome has for centuries.
Très bien. Je sais pas si c'est une bonne idée. Légal ne rime pas toujours avec morale. Et nombre de vos lois et traditions sont considérés comme barbares d'où je viens. Non, ça me paraît logique.
I'm glad you agree. The key things to remember are that we have laws forbidding treason and blasphemy, murder, assault, and rape, as well as theft and arson, and so on. I have made my pronouncement on the subject. Unfortunately, there are still those here who resist, whispering blasphemous and treasonous lies in the shadows. I would be keeping a close eye on them if I were you.
Très bien. Alors, que veut dire par je suis ici sur ordre de Proserpine?
You see, in my search for a way to save my people, I learned of an ancient ritual to Proserpina, the goddess of the cycle of life and renewal. It's said to open a doorway in time so that if the unthinkable happens, one person can pass through it and travel back to the past. And when I saw you arrive in a flash of light from the goddess's shrine, I knew that person was you. You don't belong in our time, do you?
J'ai raison, je viens de 2000 ans dans le futur.
2,000 years? That is unfathomable. Please, tell me, in your time, what did you see? What had become of us? Of this city?
Vous auriez pu tous finir en statue dorée. Non. Bah si.
I have imagined it, our downfall, 1,000 times. But it still breaks my heart to hear the truth of it.
Ok, comment le rituel fonctionne?
All I can tell you is that it's a ritual sacrifice to Proserpina. I stumbled across instructions. I have to recite a prayer, and of course, as with all rituals, some sacrifice is involved. Usually that means wine or food, or in some cases a live animal. In this case, the sacrifice is rather more costly. The life of the person performing the ritual.
Pourtant, il est toujours en
I
vie.
don't suppose you saw any sign of me in the future?
J'ai vu des restes humains dans le temple.
I assume that was me. If I'm forced to perform the ritual, it's going to cost me everything. You'll try to make sure I don't need to use it, won't you?
Ok, je ferai de mon
Well,
mieux.
I suppose that's all I can ask for.
Très bien, pourquoi pouvez-vous pas mener l'enquête vous-même?
Well, I believe you're in the best position to go around asking people questions. You're new here, and it'll seem perfectly normal. As for me, well, it pains me to say my attempts to impose order have not earned me many friends. I fear I may not even remain magistrate after today's election. The people here would only treat my curiosity with suspicion. You shouldn't have that problem, though, unless, of course, you get off on the wrong foot.
Très bien. Soupçonnez-vous des gens en particulier?
Do you ever stare at a problem for so long that you can't see it for what it is anymore? What's needed here is a fresh pair of eyes. The less I prejudice the independence of your investigation, the better.
Très bien. Qu'est-ce qui me prouve que vous n'êtes pas le responsable?
Me? Why would you suspect me? I've just told you. I'm about to sacrifice my own life to ensure these people have a second chance. What reason could you possibly have to suspect me, of all people?
En effet.
I'm glad you think so. Without trust, without each other, we won't be able to prevent what is about to happen.
Pensez-vous que cela pourrait avoir un lien avec la disparition de Scintilla?
Ah, so you know about that already. It's a devastating loss, of course, but that was over 3 weeks ago, and whatever happened to her, it didn't break the golden rule, so I don't think it's connected with our imminent demise. Still, if you happen to find her and return her to me, I would be eternally grateful.
Voyons, dites-moi le vrai fond de votre pensée.
Well, all right. There are those who wish to vote me out of office so that they can pursue their own misguided political agenda. Frankly, their selfishness and recklessness risk destabilizing the entire city. I would be looking very carefully at them if I were you.
Très bien, si j'accepte, m'aiderez-vous à retourner à mon époque?
If I understand Prosperpina's ritual correctly, that problem should take care of itself. Let me see if I can explain. If you manage to prevent the sin that breaks the golden rule, I won't need to bring you here. I won't create the portal, and you will never have been able to come here. Thus, you'll have created a paradox. If this occurs, you should be flung back to your own time, having changed the past for all of us. Make sense?
Je pense. Bon, c'est pas vrai, pas totalement vrai dans les mécaniques temporelles, mais bon, soit.
Ah, good. So, are you with me? Can I count on you to figure out who's about to break the golden rule?
Ce n'est pas comme si j'avais le choix.
No, I don't suppose you do. But I'm hoping that even if you're not burdened with a sense of self-sacrifice, you'll at least see the sense in self-preservation.
C'est pas faux, j'accepte.
Wonderful. Now, I need you to investigate the city, talk to everyone, help them if it'll win their trust. I authorize you to enter private homes and inspect possessions and documents, unless, of course, you're asked to leave. Figure out who the culprit is, and as soon as you have a name, come back and tell me immediately.
D'accord, je m'en occupe.
Oh, and one last thing. If I were you, I'd start my investigation by visiting Lucretia at the Shrine of Apollo in the Forum. I heard wailing from there not long ago. Seems like something's not right.
Je m'en occupe immédiatement. Ok, très bien. Là, on nous dit sanctuaire d'Apollon, c'est là-bas. Ok. Appuyez sur Y pour consulter le journal. Objectifs principaux. C'est un paradoxe temporel, d'accord. Découvrir la personne la plus susceptible d'enfreindre la règle d'or, ok. Et allaitement d'agonie. Donc on va aller voir Lucretia. Tiens, elle est debout maintenant.
Oh, look, you're back. How lucky for me. What is it now?
Elle est louche, mais c'est horrible. Ah, comme si on moyen de sortir d'ici.
Ugh, what is it with you people? You heard the rumor that my little sister escaped and figure I must know a way out too. Is that it? Well, that's just a stupid rumor. We have no idea what happened to Scintilla. I wish you mouth breathers would just leave me alone. I don't know. Can you? Can you tell me how a person could have disappeared from a city with no exits and no crime? Was she snatched away by the harpies?
Oh, j'arrive pas à la regarder, c'est horrible. C'est... Bon alors, quand l'avez-vous vu pour la dernière fois, votre père? Bon allez.
It was 3 weeks ago. We ate our evening meal together, and I remember she seemed happy. In love. We went into our rooms, I went to sleep, and when I woke up, she was gone. That's it.
Fréquentait-elle quelqu'un?
I think so, yes. But she was very careful about keeping his identity a secret, even from me.
Une raison à cela.
Because our father had plans to marry her off, eventually, and even a rumor about her attachment to some mystery man might have ruined those plans.
Alors, votre père n'a pas évoqué cela lors de la conversation. Vous savez pourquoi?
That doesn't surprise me. To him, it was like a prize cow wandering off from its paddock. He's upset, of course, but he says he's too busy with the election to help look for her. So he's letting Horatius do the heavy lifting. Some good that's done.
Est-il possible que son amant soit impliqué?
I don't know, but it's been 3 weeks since she disappeared, and he hasn't come forward. That might speak to a guilty conscience. All I know is, whoever he is, he's still here in the city.
Sens-tu Cynthia, Cynthia, pourquoi vos noms se ressemblent-ils à ce
You
point?
really aren't from here, are you? All Roman women are named after their fathers. I think it's their way of branding us, like cattle to be sold at market. His family name is Sentius, so I'm Sentia because I'm the eldest. And my little sister is formerly Sentia Minor, but she is affectionately known as Sentilla.
Vous semblez étonnamment détendu malgré la disparition de votre sœur.
I hope you're not insinuating I'm somehow pleased with her disappearance.
C'est qu'une observation.
If you must know, I'm here because my father has forbidden me from leaving the villa. I couldn't bear to lose you too, he says, as if he loves me, and not because he needs at least one daughter he can trade off.
Ok.
So you'll help me find her?
Très bien, je m'en charge.
Thank you. You should probably take a look through her room. It's the one just by the front door. Maybe you'll find something the rest of us missed.
Je vais voir ce que je peux
Thanks.
faire.
I'd appreciate it.
Pouvons-nous nous parler de Cynthia?
Of course. What have you discovered?
J'espérais vous parler d'autre chose.
I see.
Non, ça.
All right. Another time.
Ok, très bien. Alors ici c'est une cuisine. Inspecter le four, cuisine avec une si mauvaise ventilation. Et sans doute désagréable, mais les Romains voyaient peut-être cela comme un problème de leurs serviteurs. Bah oui. Ces carottes sont violettes, comme elles l'étaient avant que les carottes oranges modernes ne soient cultivées. Voyons... Un buste, une sculpture d'Arès, le dieu de la guerre. Une grecque connue sous le nom de Mars par les Romains. Il n'y a rien du tout. Une petite fiole contenant un parfum rudimentaire fabriqué à partir de fleurs et d'huile. Pot de maquillage. Un pot contenant une sorte de poudre destinée au maquillage. Journal de Cynthia, ce sera après. Miroir en laiton. Ça réfléchit pas beaucoup, hein, mais bon. Résumé, Cynthia estime que tout le monde a le droit à ses secrets. Donc cher journal. Aujourd'hui, mon père me suggérait d'écrire un journal pour m'occuper, le temps de faire face à la disparition soudaine et bouleversante de ma sœur. En tant que fille obéissante, je vais m'exécuter. Les pages qui suivent enferment mes secrets les plus intimes. Je sais que vous me lisez, père. Ma jeunesse n'est pas synonyme de crédulité. Tout le monde a le droit à ses secrets, Cynthia. D'accord. On va éviter de fouiller dans les coffres. Denier. Je ne veux pas voler. Je ne suis pas un voleur, j'ai pas envie d'activer le mode destruction tous en or. Pas de maquillage, pas de maquillage. Une fiole, un peigne, encore des fioles. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a dans son... juste de l'argent. Ah, note de Cynthia. Lire. Résumé, Cynthia a écrit qu'elle a décidé de s'échapper. Donc elle est partie de son plein gré. Cynthia, Cynthia, puissiez-vous trouver la clémence de me pardonner. Je suis désolé de devoir vous abandonner ainsi, mais j'ai trouvé un moyen de m'échapper. J'ai décidé d'en profiter. J'espère vous revoir un jour. Hop, déjà... On va lui donner ça.
What have you discovered?
J'ai trouvé une lettre dans sa chambre qui mentionne son projet d'évasion.
What? Really? I swear, I searched her room top to bottom and never saw that. I wonder how I could have missed it. Strange, but well done, I suppose.
Et j'ai pas envie...
It's odd. It was only a few months ago that Sentilla's friend Yulia let slip she was planning an escape of her own. And yet, Yulia's still here. You should go and speak with her. Find out if she knows anything. She lives in the villa next door.
J'avais pas envie de dire que c'est peut-être parce qu'elle a pas les yeux en face des trous qu'elle a pas vu le... Mais bon, trop tard, je l'ai dit. Désolé pour ceux qui souffrent de ça, mais... Ah.
Ah, you've returned. Do you have any news about your investigation?
Alors, peut-on parler de la personne qui va enfreindre... Que pensez-vous de la
I've
règle
had
d'or?
plenty of time to think about it. Let me see if I can sum up my thoughts. I've always considered my guiding star to be the well-being of the Roman people. Our survival and prosperity have always hinged upon honoring the peace of the gods, the sacred accord between the gods and the people of Rome. Give the gods what they want and we all prosper. Dishonor them and we all die. It's as simple as that. The real enemy in this place is not the golden rule, but human failings. The temptation to slide into degeneracy, greed, and hubris. I trust that answers your question.
Ok,
Ask them.
Quelques questions, non. Je n'ai pas
Good.
beaucoup de questions.
Now, what?
Peut-on parler de la personne qui va enfreindre la
Of
règle
course.
d'or?
What is it?
Keep an eye out for Santilla, would you?
Non, il faut...
Why then
non.
did you say? It looks like.
Très bien.
Thank you. I'll.
Bon, allez, on va avancer. Quelqu'un qui fait des pompes.
What were you two talking about?
Pardon.
Don't play dumb. I saw you. Having a shady little chat with old man Sentius up on his balcony. What's he offering you? Money? Favours? What's your vote worth to him?
Nous ne parlions pas de l'élection.
What else would you be murmuring about on election day? Mark my words, Malleolus is gonna be magistrate by the end of the day. And if I tell him you sided with that feeble old has-been, that you've been trying to undermine his hard-won victory, you'll have picked the wrong patron. Got it?
Je comptais pas m'interférer. Non, je me fiche de l'élection.
Good. Then stay out of it. Nobody likes Caput Murday foreigners interfering in an election.
Très bien, je peux vous poser quelques questions. Quelle est votre
The
histoire?
name's Domitius. You want to get to Malleolus? You go through me.
Pourquoi êtes-vous vêtu comme un gladiateur?
Why? Because I am a gladiator. That's why.
D'accord, mais vous n'êtes pas du tout près d'une arène.
You want to see me fight? Keep running your mouth, fatuous cunners.
Très bien. Connaissez-vous un moyen de sortir d'ici?
When Malleolus wins the election, yeah, this place will change. You won't even want to leave. You'll see.
Que pensez-vous de la règle
I
d'or?
think it's gone on long enough, and Malleolus is going to put an end to it once he's elected.
Comment va-t-il s'y prendre?
He's going to announce it in his victory speech. Just you wait and see.
Pourquoi pouvez-vous pas me le dire maintenant?
Because if I tell you, and it gets out, it'll give old man Sentius a chance to interfere in our plans, and we can't have that.
J'ai du mal à vous
Old
croire.
man Sentius got you already, did he? Well, I'm not talking to people in his faction. Confatuare.
Bon. Hop. Oui. Bon, je sais pas qui m'a dit ça. J'avais l'impression qu'il y avait des petites lucioles qui partaient par là. Ok. Non. Très bien. Alors, Lucretia. Ok.
Give me a moment. Sorry I'm such a mess. I just lost a patient and a dear friend. Julia. She was a good woman.
Ah, Julia est morte. Que s'est-il passé?
She was poisoned. She came in here frothing at the mouth. Normally I'd treat her with resin of silphium, a rare plant which is perfect for this sort of thing. And I knew Decius had some at his market stall, right around the corner. So I ran over there, but he just looks at me with this evil smile and says, "That'll be 1,000 denarii." There was no way I could afford that, and he knew it. Then that toad shrugs and says, "Supply and demand. I guess you don't value your friend's life that highly." Anywhere else, I'd just pay a thug to steal it from his stall. But there's no way I can do that down here with the golden rule. So all I could do is come back here and just watch her die. I kept on apologizing. And now I'll never know who poisoned her, or how they managed to do it without breaking the golden rule, or why she cursed that snake's cruel black eyes with her dying breath.
Je vais faire quelque chose pour vous
Well,
aider.
unless you have the power to bring someone back from the dead, there's really just one thing you can do. Get me that silphium resin. I'm going to have another patient in here soon. Could be in the next day or in the next hour. and I will not allow this to happen again. I don't care how you get it, but you have to make it happen. Because if I lose another patient this way, I swear to the gods below, not even the golden rule will stop me from marching up to that genetricum fututo and scratching his eyes out.
Je vais voir ce que je peux faire. Ok, votre histoire.
I'm Lucretia, and I'm going to be straight with you. I'm not a physician. This is Nevia's clinic. I've just been filling in ever since she disappeared. I'm tired and out of my depth and miserable all the time. But I'd rather take this on myself than let one of you lot mess it up.
Comment vous atterrez ici?
My husband and I moved to Rome from Caesarea. He embraced the Roman way more than I would have liked and turned into an awful philanderer. I would have divorced him and demanded the return of my dowry, but I knew he would sooner have me killed than give me my right. So I waited for the right time to take what was mine and disappear. And then the fires came. As he prepared to evacuate our villa, I gathered our most precious belongings, coins and gemstones, and the moment his back was turned, I ran. I could barely see for the smoke, and the streets were full of people trampling each other. I ran for the river, like everyone else, and leapt in. The next thing I remember, I was waking up on a riverbank, not far from here.
Ok, cela me désole de l'entendre.
It's all right. Say what you will about this place. At least my fornicating husband will never find me. And while there's no shortage of snakes here, at least with the golden rule, they have to try to be discreet about it.
Pourquoi travaillez-vous dans
Oh,
ce sanctuaire?
this shrine was in use as a clinic long before any of us arrived here. Kind of strange to set up a clinic in the temple of the god of disease. But the god who inflicts a curse is also the only god who can undo it. So I suppose praying to Apollo for healing kind of makes sense.
Davantage sur Navia.
Well, she used to run the clinic. She was a midwife, not a physician, but she was the closest thing we had down here. And she was good too, until she suddenly lost all interest in us. One day she told me she'd made some profound discovery about the golden statues. This changes everything, she kept saying. But I had no idea what she was talking about. The last time I saw her, the last time any of us saw her, she was muttering to the statues, like she could talk to them. And then she shut herself in the palace, barred the door from the inside, and nobody's seen her since. She's been gone so long now, we figure she's either dead or up to something so strange that she doesn't want anyone else to know about it. But I really wish I could reach her, because that's the only hope I have of solving a troubling problem, a real thorn in the paw situation. One of my patients is suffering from terrible rheumatism. His joints are inflamed and he's in constant pain. He's become so irritable that the smallest things set him off, and I worry he'll end up losing his temper and lashing out, and you know what that means. I just know Nevia would know how to treat him, assuming she's still alive. But nobody seems to know how to get into the palace.
Très bien, je vais voir ce que je peux faire.
Yes, I suppose.
Ok, bon bah pour l'instant,
Well,
je m'en
come
vais.
back if you get sick or injured. Day or night, I'll do what I can.
Et on va s'arrêter là pour cet épisode. En attendant, eh bien, merci d'avoir regardé, j'espère que ça vous a plu. N'hésitez pas à me dire ce que vous en avez pensé dans les commentaires. Mettez des pouces en l'air, abonnez-vous pour ne pas rater la suite. Et portez-vous bien. Bye.